Welcome back to the Praxis SMP. So, we're still in the cave, because of course we are. And I wanted to talk about this kelp machine and some of the limitations that I've imposed upon myself. So, we have this awesome shulker unloader, and you just basically put a shulker in there and it pumps out all the cobblestone into this waterway and further down into the smelter. The problem is that between all these hoppers and all these furnaces, there's no buffer tank that allows me to put more than, say, two shulker boxes in the system at a time. So it creates a bit of a bottleneck in that sense. The other thing is this single furnace array to craft and make the kelp blocks is slower than it should be. See, we're starting to accumulate, at a slow pace, we're starting to accumulate extra kelp in the buffer tank here. Now, this one has a pretty big buffer. It's got 3 double chests worth. So we got lots of room to let it get out of hand. But I think I'm not going to solve the cobblestone issue other than maybe putting a double chest right here so that it has a bit of a buffer. And I can then put 4 shulker boxes into the system. But for this thing, I think I need to do some kind of logic where if I'm starting to accumulate into this chest, that I need to start pushing it into a different furnace array just for efficiency, and then pump that out as crafted blocks on the side. It'll be faster than what I'm doing here, which is slowly accumulating the excesses into this shulker box. I'll be able to have a dedicated kelp production line for that. So that's two of the major throughput limitations of this system. And it's been effective. It's definitely achieved what I needed it to achieve. It's a little slow on the stone production part. Like, you do have to stand around for a while AFK and let it do its business, but that's not the end of the world. I've got other farms here that work while I'm AFK anyways, right? So taking advantage of just being here and not having to over engineer a nice solution that's super rapid. Another issue that I've encountered is with this kelp farm itself. Now, as you can see, there's one observer per kelp plant. And over time, let's say over a period of 24 hours, if you just stand here, it's very likely that every single one of these kelp plants will grow such that they won't grow anymore. That means that they'll never trigger the observer and the farm basically just stops. So after wasting 100 observers for this thing, I basically have it running on a hopper clock with a full amount of time. And when the clock shifts, it'll punch every single piston and ensure that we never have a state where the kelp can't grow. So it's a bit of a workaround to the bugs in the system, and this whole machine will get overhauled eventually. But for now, I have let you guys watch these videos just of me grinding materials and never once telling you what it is I'm building. And I think it's time. So, the project, the plan, the base, the build that I am making is Tracy Island from Thunderbirds. Tracy Island is quite the rocky sort of island, and the island that I am based on currently is not that. So, without further ado, let's hit a time lapse and do some terraforming. So, for those of you familiar with Thunderbirds, you might recognize this schematic as the rough shape of the round house where Thunderbird 3 takes off from. So, that's going to be on this particular plateau. Now, the island itself has a second plateau higher up where the main house is that has the swimming pool that retracts so that Thunderbird 1 can take off. And it also has a small runway on a beach at the bottom of the island. So basically, I have to transform this whole island into a giant rocky mass of stone, and then I can build my houses on it. Now, I'm going to start building this right away because its platform is pretty much in place. So I don't think I need to worry too much about it ever having to move. I might actually shift the schematic over just a couple of blocks because I don't think I want it hanging so close to the edge of the island. There's supposed to be a staircase that comes down from here, and I guess that's how you'd get up into the house. Now, the thing about Tracy Island is that there's many different versions of it. There's the original like 1960s Thunderbirds one that was sort of built as a prop more than anything, just to shoot some angles and get some aerial shots. So it doesn't necessarily represent what the island actually looks like. Then there's the one from the movie, which has that super modern S-shaped looking house where everybody lives. Also, a little closer to what maybe is possible, what maybe makes sense at the scale that I'm building. And then there's the Thunderbirds Are Go TV show from, I want to say, 2019, where the whole thing was rebuilt, different than the original. What's going to happen is it's going to actually be some sort of blend between old and new. So I'm going to do some more terraforming and come back and show you what the rest of the island hopefully will look like. All right, so I have been grinding out the terraforming and doing a little planning ahead. So let's take a look at what I've done because I think at this point I'm going to call this episode so that next time I can start building an actual house. This is going to be the roundhouse where Thunderbird 3 comes from. If we shoot out over the water a little bit, you can see the cliff starting to form. And then there's another mountain here. And I started laying out the main villa, and it's about that size, including the pool where Thunderbird 1 comes from. So there's a Sulphur Susan out in the water here going for a swim. Basically, over here, this is like the back of the house. The back of the house is this way. Um, this was the original peak that I was thinking of using, but the mountain itself on Tracy Island is actually this straight up cliff plateau thing behind the house. So even if I have to move it back a couple blocks to fit where the house is going to go, it actually makes sense with the way that the island is portrayed in the show. Excuse me, gotta sleep. Like I said, this is where the roundhouse is going to be. And I've got most of the cliff face built up here. And then I have to build this up as well. So I'm going to do a lot more of this terraforming before the next episode. And then I'm going to start building this guy, which shouldn't be too bad. It's just a couple big circles and bone blocks. And then this cliff will also probably be filled in. Anyways, that was a lot of building mountains. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching.